Well, hell yeah, I'm pissed off. You'd be pissed off too, wouldn't you? Yeah, no, I'm angry as shit right now because my cat called PETA on me because I won't make him part of the show in the show title. So hell yes, I'm pissed off about it, man. But I gotta go. Listen, I'm live. I gotta go. His name's Oliver. No, don't print that. All right, thanks, David Barron. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Barry on Deck, episode number 5. It's Friday. We made it. Man, thank you guys for being here. I'm super pumped about this Friday show. We got a lot to discuss, don't we? Did anything happen last night? I'm not sure. Did anything go? What happened last night? I don't know for sure what went down, but I have thoughts, and we're going to discuss them. We have a ton of shit to get to. I've got videos. I've got Jong Lee, the master. He's going to join me at 3 o'clock p.m. We have a ton to discuss with him as well. What else is there? I mean, there's just, I don't know. There's those changes that took place this week that at ESPN 97.5, and I, of course, will have commentary on that shortly, but you guys know how this goes, man. I like to start off the show by giving you some updates on the show itself, which, listen, I wore this shirt for a reason, because this show is also us. My name's on it, Barry on Deck, but this is being built by you guys, by the deck heads. You guys have been so supportive. So there's more updates. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody that subscribed. We hit 2,000, y'all. We hit 2,000 subscribers. I am so damn pumped about that. I couldn't be happier. And I got to give a special shout out, not just to everybody that has subscribed, but also to AR Platinum. If you don't know who AR Platinum is, this dude has the largest lottery YouTube channel in America. Second largest in the world. He's a diehard suspect. He's a diehard deckhead. He's a great dude. He's been helping me behind the scenes on YouTube and understanding all this shit. But he's got 65,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And he was kind enough to say, hey, you guys go follow Barry and Barry on Deck and show him some love. We've surpassed 2,000, and it's because of you guys and AR Platinum, and I'm very appreciative. And do me a favor, if you're a deckhead, if you're a suspect, go just subscribe to his channel. It's AR Platinum. Give him a subscribe. Turn on notifications. Maybe watch a video. But he's a great dude, and he's really been instrumental in helping me get this thing rolling. I promise you I wouldn't have this many subscribers because he's done this twice now. And both times it's putting me over 1,000 and then 2,000. So I'm very appreciative. And thank you all for being here. Update number 2. And this one is pretty crazy to me. So as you guys know, I have, I'm doing this on my own after being let go, but I started a Patreon, and it's a way, for those of you that don't know what Patreon is, because some of you asked, it's just a way for individuals to support artists and entertainers. It's a way for you to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to subscribe monthly to this guy because I like what he does. I like his content, and I want him to keep creating it. So it sometimes circumvents maybe, it shouldn't say circumvent. It gives people like myself the ability to continue to create stuff and do these shows. So real quick, you can hear the thunder. I might lose power, and that's really going to piss me off if it happens. So I just want to warn you, if this shit just goes dark, I've lost power. I didn't quit on you, okay? But I live in a neighborhood where the lights are really shitty. So fair warning, okay? All right, back to the Patreon because I put it up yesterday, but I didn't really announce it. And folks started finding it without me even letting you guys know. And that's just amazing to me. So part of signing up on Patreon is I get to give a shout out to everybody that signed up. And I'm so happy to be able to do that right now. So let's get to the shout outs. Now listen, I put this up and William Resendez found it before I even gave the link out. And then once I gave the link out, you guys went out there and signed up, and God bless you. I am so damn appreciative. So there's a lot of names here. This is going to be kind of like a graduation, so please hold your applause to the end. But I have to thank each and every one of you that have already signed up. Alex Villanueva, Brandon Martinez, Brandon Gary, Bruce Weed, Charles Gore, Chris Reyes, Christian Alonzo, Chris Householder, Dake Shields, Daniel Davis, Guys, thank you so much for this. Let me say, oh shoot, I messed up my damn slide here. Here we go. David Womack, Demetrius Mata, Donna Rogers, love you, sweetie. Eric Resendez, who's the guy that heckles the shit out of me on Twitch. Jake Richardson, Jennifer Jones, Jeremy Ingram, Jeremy Tinsley, my boy PayPal Pete, John Parker, my guy, even added a little extra on top of it, and I'm very appreciative of that. Josh Corsi, thank you all for going out and subscribing to my Patreon. Josh Rapp, Juan Guerrera, Kevin Wallace, Luis Zelaya, Manuel Cervantes, Michael Kane, Mincho Torres, NASCAR Johnny, all the way in Austin, buddy. OG Mac Daddy, Pamela, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And then Patrick Randall. P. Randizzle knows he shouldn't have done that, but damn it, I love you, buddy. Scott Greenlaw, sitting on the corner doing dope. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I sure as hell appreciate you. Titan Hugo, my guy. TJ McLaughlin, Total Dallas. I told him I wouldn't hate on the Cowboys anymore. Travis Lambert, Tyler Stamper, and William Resendez, who was the original first subscriber. He's the one that found it before I ever put the link out. But damn it, thank you guys so much, man. I am floored by the amount of support and love that you guys have shown me. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the show. And judging by the folks that have already signed up, you are. So I plan on keeping this going and just making it better every single time. Yes, Christian Alonso, you made the list. Guys, one more time, thank you for joining the Patreon. If you want to join the Patreon, it's really simple to find. You just go to patreon.com/barryondeck. That's simple. Patreon, patreon.com/barryondeck. You can subscribe, you can sign up, and I will be forever grateful. And there's a ton of shit. I got merch out there. I've got a Discord server, all kinds of stuff. I don't know how to use the Discord server yet, but there's all kinds of shit you can get with your membership. So thank you guys, and keep loving the show, and I'll keep making it. How about that? All right. I do want to give two extra shout outs real quick though, because a couple of folks that I've been talking to, because so many of you have reached out just throughout the weekend. Of course, last night after, some things went down. But I just want to say shout out to Steve-O, my buddy. My heart is with you. I know you're going through some shit, but I'm rooting for you. And shout out also to Crystal Collins. I know you, sweetie. By the way, Crystal Collins, one of the suspects. Steve-O, a suspect, but now they're deckheads. And Crystal, I know you're going through some shit as well. I'm sorry about your birthday party. I was still, whatever you decide to do it, I will be there to perform. And I love you, sweetie, and happy birthday in June. Okay, there's the going through some shit shout outs. If you're going through some shit, let me know. And, we can talk about it. That's cool. So, what to get to next? What else should we talk about? Oh, real quick, before I get to the ESPN Josh Ennis thing, and I'm going to, I saw a link online where Coors Light, or Coors in general, has come up with a way to clone yourself while you guys are doing your Zoom meetings with your company, which I thought was pretty dope. I was like, so you're telling me that as people are working, they can actually clone themselves. And what it is they basically created, like, you can have a picture or a video, and it's like a 30-second loop where you just kind of sit there and do like this, and it looks like you're listening. But you can also just do a still shot. So if you just sit there and you're minding your own business, that could work as well. So I went out and tried it. So I'm going to see if you guys notice a difference. I cloned myself for the show, and let me kick it up there and let me see if you guys notice. Here you go. 3, 2, 1. Did you notice? Can you guys tell the difference between me being there and me not being there? I don't know. Does it look any different from your vantage point? Surprise! You didn't know I was gone. What? Who's cloning who? All right. He's going to charge me for that. I know damn sure, Oliver, he's like, well, that's a scheduled appearance. Now you owe me $50. So, but yes, if you haven't had a close-up of Oliver, that is Oliver. And guys, honest with you, to be honest, I keep trying to get his ass to sit in that chair for the start of the show. He does not have it. I made my wife, who is off today, sit here on the floor next to us with the cat in the chair. And you guys know how cats are. He was like, no, I don't give a shit. I'm not hanging out for your stupid ass intro. And he left. So he was supposed to be here for that one. All of them. He hasn't. He's a cat. What the hell are you going to do? So let's talk about last night. Actually, let me hold on. Okay, let's talk about last night. Now, I wasn't aware of what was going on. Yes, and by the way, I'm sorry, Clarence. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to you deckheads. I love you all so much. God bless it. I am the luckiest man on the planet. No lie. Now, look at that. I just want to show you this fancy coaster I have. Huh? It lights up a crown, people! Who's fancy? This guy. All right. That's like a $3 accessory when you buy the big bottle of Crown. Now, my thoughts on what happened last night. I had no idea that this was a thing. First of all, people were reaching out asking me, did you know? Did you know? Nope, I didn't know. I learned by people actually, I'll say, I got some tweets, but I wasn't on Twitter at the time. I actually took a night off, so I thought, to spend time with my wife, because I'm telling you, I've been burning the midnight oil trying to get the show going and get it up to par and as good as I want it to be with graphics and videos and everything else and sales packets to sell ads and all that shit. But I started getting tweets, didn't know about it, but then my phone started buzzing like crazy because of text. And several people who I appreciate reaching out texted and private messaged me, and I was a little shocked. I was a little stunned, but I'm not upset. I'm not mad. That's not my time slot. That was Will Kane's time slot. And I understand the decisions that were made. I can't imagine that. I understand how it looks, but I also understand this is a business. I'm not upset by it. I don't feel betrayed. I don't feel like I was tricked. I honestly believe that I would still be on ESPN and doing the usual suspects if COVID-19 wasn't a thing. I believe that in my heart of hearts. I'm not going to sit here and brag, but I can tell you that our numbers in the ratings proved that we were a good show. Okay, we won a book. I shouldn't say a book. We won books in that time slot. We beat drive time shows in that time slot on the station and on the competing stations. Joel, Nick, and I held our own. And I don't think that the business decision to let me go was because they didn't like the show or didn't want us on the air and wanted to replace us with Josh Ennis. I just don't believe that. Now, a lot of you have asked me, was I offered to stay and work for free? Because I'm not spilling the beans here. It's common knowledge. AJ tweeted it out. A lot of people tweeted it out that Josh Ennis is doing 2 to 4 for free. And everybody wants to know, was I offered that opportunity? And the answer is no. I was not offered that opportunity. And I'm thankful for that, because I think that they understood at the time that they didn't have a choice because of the issues with the economy. And then Josh approached them about working for free. So this was never an idea, I believe, that AJ would have been like, hey, you guys work for free, or I need someone to fill that spot to work for free. I personally don't believe that. But then a lot of you wanted to know if they did offer it to me from 2 to 4, or to go back to the usual suspects, would I work for free? And the answer is also no. I would have politely turned it down. I would have declined the opportunity and the offer to work for free. And let me explain. I missed the show. I missed the station. I missed everybody there. I loved working at ESPN from the top down, from David Gal to Todd to AJ to everybody that works there to a person. They are wonderful people. And I am so grateful for my time at ESPN. But I also know what my value is. And I also know what my worth is. And boy, do I know now, because again, I'm not trying to sit here, but you guys have been amazing in your support. But I also knew that as a show, I knew what the value was of our show. I knew that we could win books. I knew that we could win ratings. Even in a depressed market, I think that I was told the last book that we had, we were second at the station. I don't think they're letting go of the second most popular show from a rating standpoint at the station just because. And I won't talk about salary, but I wasn't breaking the bank either. Okay. So again, when I tell you, I think it was a business decision, it was. And again, when I tell you, would I do it for free? No. I learned a long time ago in comedy that and just as being an artist and entertainer, you're worth what you accept. Your value is what you allow people to pay you. As a radio guy, I'm not working for free. I feel like I have proven now 6 years ago, when I was on game day and they were like, look, either the show goes away or you guys do it for free for a while until we figure it out, I chose to do it for free. Because at the time, I wanted to prove myself. That was 6 years ago. We didn't get ratings at the time when that popped up. We were a 0.0. But now we've gotten ratings. We've won books. We've been the #1 sports talk show in the market at times. So I know what my value is. And I would have appreciated the opportunity for them to keep me on board, but I just wouldn't have worked for free. And I don't think that they would have been upset had I turned it down. I don't think that they would have said, well, that's it. You're never... I think if that was an alternative and we were weighing all the ways to keep the show together, that would have been thrown out there. But I did see a tweet by AJ in which he said, I would have never asked Barry to work for free because I wouldn't want him to do anything that I wouldn't do. And he said he wouldn't work for free. So I understand it. I get it. And all I can tell you is I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the folks at ESPN 97.5 for giving me the opportunity to be on their station to begin with and to create The Usual Suspects and for all of the amazing experiences that they gave me. I'm thankful to AJ for being honest with me when he let me go, I feel like. But I'm also thankful to you guys because holy shit, y'all went wild last night. I was following the tweets. Y'all are brutal, man. I hope I never fuck this up. Y'all, God bless. Y'all got after it, man. Now listen, I started to like tweets because you guys know how I am. If I see my name in a tweet, I'm like, oh, what? Okay, cool. Like I may have liked some tweets that were probably a little inappropriate to like, maybe. That was no harm, no foul. But I appreciate the support. I'm not going to condone some of the things that were said, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it either. But just know that as far as I'm concerned, I'm not upset. I'm not mad at ESPN. I love those guys. I love that station. I love The Usual Suspects. And I love you guys too. And I'm just happy, guys. I'm just happy. I have my own show that people showed up for all week. I have sponsors already lined up, which again, where were y'all two months ago? But dude, I've got sponsors. I don't even have an ad contract yet, but I have businesses and individuals that were suspects that are now deckheads that own businesses that want to support. I have amazing people that have gone to Patreon and said, I don't give a shit what you do, but here's $2, $5, or $10 a month just to support you. I have people that bought shirts to support me. Am I mad? Fuck no, I'm not mad. I'm ecstatic. And my heart is full, and I am so grateful. So, that's the answer. Okay? We can put it to bed. And again, I know all of you had your own feelings, and I appreciate the support. And, you guys know who you are. And I thank you tremendously for having my back. Now, do I have comments on Josh Ennis? No, I really don't know the dude. There's only been 2 times. We passed each other in the hall when he was a fill-in one time, and he didn't say anything to me, and I didn't say anything to him. There's only been 2 other times that I know that he's even said anything. One time I made him mad because someone tweeted something shitty about him and said and something good about me at the same time, and I liked it because if you tweet something good about me, even like last night, you guys were like, "We love Barry, we want Barry back. I'm never listening to this station again." I might have accidentally liked it because you liked me, so I'm like, "Cool, that's a good." Then I was like, "Oh, well, that's kind of just okay, maybe not." But the only time so one time somebody tweeted something negative about him and positive about me, and I liked it, and then he got a hold of somebody that we both know and was like, who the fuck is Barry? And at the time, my response was, not good because, you know, this is a business. But at the time, I said, Barry's the guy that's beating you in ratings. Okay, well now Barry's the guy that doesn't have a job in radio, but Barry's the guy that's super happy. The other time was he was on the station filling in for somebody, and he made a reference to The Usual Suspects. But instead of saying The Usual Suspects, or instead of saying Joel, Barry, and Nick, he said, oh yeah, I even listened to that show with Barry and the gang. And that pissed me off a little bit. Because we ain't the fucking gang, and I'm not a sidekick. That was a 3-man show. And you couldn't have the suspects without any of the 3. Whether it was Joel, Nick, or myself. So, was that a little disrespectful? Was that a shot? Sure. But you know what? I don't give a shit. For 2 seconds, I was like, fuck that dude. But am I mad at him? No! I'm not. I'm indifferent about Josh Ennis. I don't listen to his show. But I don't listen to a lot of people. I listen to like Matt Thomas, The Blitz, The Bench. And now I listen, you know, to really nothing because I'm doing this. But I just didn't listen to him. But I don't begrudge him. I wish him nothing but the best, man. If he can kill it from 2 to 4, cool. Am I worried? No. Am I upset? No. Because I don't give I don't give a shit if there's 1 person or 1 million. I'm doing this because I'm happy and I enjoy it and I love it. So, again, thank you, everybody. Can we move on now? Awesome. Now, I'm not keeping up with the chat. I don't know what's going on over there. I have seen some crazy shit. I have seen some shit talking. I'm going to let y'all do that. I'm just going to let y'all be you. I do have a moderator, and I got to go back and find, I got to get his name. I got to find it. Maybe I'll find it at the break because I forgot. I wrote it down, but then I didn't save it to my desktop. It's on my my tablet in the bedroom. But we have a moderator, so if you say some racist shit, it'll get deleted and you'll get banned. But other than that, man, just having fun, living the life. All right, let's get to some stuff. Let's talk some sports. Actually, you know what? What do you guys want? You guys want to talk some sports, or do you want to break down another video like yesterday? Because if you missed yesterday's video, you were probably... That's what you do. I don't know. If you missed that, go back and watch episode 4. God, that was so much fun. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the chat. What do you want? You want a video? Or you want to talk a little sports? Huh? Like, this is... All right, here's a little trick. I know y'all want the damn video. Nobody wants to talk sports. If you wanted to talk sports, let's be real. You wouldn't be here. And you love sports, and I'll talk sports, but we're here for the laughs and the cursing and the camaraderie. So, wow, I usually try to give credit to the people that I'm not playing the drums, Chris. Okay, that's not. One day maybe I'll play those drums. Maybe one day I'll do the best I can and play drums for you guys. I'll put it at, you know what? I'll let the Patreon subscribers decide. I'll put on a poll. Do you want to see me play the drums, or would it be too excruciating to try and listen to? Maybe we'll do that. Go join the Patreon and you can vote. I'm such a whore right now. Okay. The video that I have for today to break down for you, my wife sent me this video, and she watched it last night. She goes, "Look, this is you. Okay, this is me." Now, here's let's just do it. Here's the video of the day that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, you better fucking slow down and watch that stop sign, bitch.
What? Holy shit, what? Guys, first of all, my wife said that's me. What kind of shit is that? Look at this crazy ass lady. Oh, we got so much to discuss in this short little 5-second clip, but who's...
Yeah, you better fucking slow down and watch that stop sign, bitch.
Now, Donna, that's not me. You shut up, Donna. Here's the crazy thing, guys. Is that me? Is it just me? Or does she not sound just a tad bit like the lady from yesterday? I'm trying to find that video. But does she not sound a little bit like this lady?
They're out here sharing marijuana.
Today?
Smoking pot out here on a Friday afternoon after they got...
And then they get high.
You better fucking slow down and watch that stop sign, bitch!
They get all high and drive down my street, running stop signs and smoking dope. And I swear to God, this is the same lady. How is this not the same lady? This has to be the same lady, right? Either that or it's the lady from the Red Lobster in Pennsylvania, because as we discussed earlier in the week, what do you see, guys? Yoga pants. What do we know yoga pants are a dead ass giveaway for somebody getting angry and asking for a manager, yelling at somebody, getting in a fisticuffs fight. Like, she's definitely... Now, truth time. Would I do that? Oh, hell yeah. Have I done that? Oh, yeah. Now, I don't, like... I live on a corner lot, so there is a stop sign. Do I yell at people that roll through it? You best believe I do. Do I yell at people that are speeding? Yes. From my front yard? No. But while I'm out jogging, if someone passes me and is speeding, I'm like, hey, dog, what the hell, man? I'm out jogging. You're trying to kill me. They're probably going like 35 and a 30. It is a sign that I'm getting old. I tweeted this out, honest to God, truth. I was sitting in my office getting ready, and I went to go pee. And as I passed by my front door, I could see a kid walking through my yard. Not like passing through, like walking through like the driveway or like, no, he cut exactly through my yard onto the street. And I opened the door. I was like, hey man, can you not walk on my grass? And then I shut the door. And I went to go pee and I realized I'm old as shit. Like, I literally had to tell someone to get off my lawn. I'm literally days away from AARP. Now, let's get back to this video real quick. Slow down. This lady, let's break this down for a minute. All right, first of all, I'm upset about this goddamn yard. Can we talk about this monstrosity, this atrocity of grass? Look at that shit at the bottom. Look at it. Look at it. What is that? What? I'm more pissed off about how they have maintained their yard than I am anything else in this video, including the fact that she's wearing yoga pants with a sleeveless hoodie and slides. I'm not even mad about that. Look at that freaking yard. That's bullshit. That somebody needs to call the cops and sorry, I just saw the chat, but yes, Scott, that is probably Nick's yard. I swear to God, that's what Nick's yard looks like. I promise you. I've seen pictures of it. Like, bro, what are you growing in that yard? Potatoes? What is that? A potato? Like, it's just dirt. There's nothing but dirt and potatoes. Can we talk about the outfit for a second, though? Is anyone surprised? First of all, it looks like she's whoop-de-whooping them here without the audio. Like, whoop, whoop, get them. But we've got right here. So we've got, by the way, she's in decent shape. I give her that. We've got slides, yoga pants, a sleeveless, a hoodie. Because hoodies are for the cold, but she has one with no sleeves on it. So I don't understand that. That's like people that wear sweatshirts and shorts. I don't really understand that shit. And then she's got the big-ass shoulder tattoo. So we know that this was going to happen no matter what. Looks like a decent neighborhood. And concrete needs some work. But that goal is not regulation. That goal is definitely not regulation. So I don't know what that's about. But I feel like people that have a basketball goal like that definitely maintain their yard like that. Like if I drove by a house in your neighborhood and it has this goal with that little thing, the water that you put in there, that you end up inevitably twisting your ankle on, usually there's grass nearby that looks like that. So that's Jan said no sleep so she can hope. Oh, we got a ramp. Look at this shit. We got a ramp in the yard. So the kids have been out building ramps. Good for them. I used to love jumping my bike on ramps back in the day. That was the shit. Okay, so there you go. There's your breakdown. I don't really see anything else. Tree needs some work. Maybe call a tree service company because that tree's dying. But I like this at the end there. She kind of it's almost like, you know what this reminds me of? This is almost like NASCAR. Like this person won the slow the fuck down rate 500. Like this is literally like they won because she's giving them the flag. Look, they're like, she's like, that's amazing. And also, honey, if you watch this later, that ain't me, okay? That's not me. Holy shit, that's good times. Real quick, a somber note. I saw that Bob Watson passed. Famed Astro Bob Watson, the first African-American GM to win a World Series. MLB executive. He was an Astro. I was trying to find his stats here. 19 seasons in baseball. That's crazy, man. But yeah, Bob Watson passed away. So that's really sad if you're an Astros fan. And then if you're also an Astros fan, Art Howe is in a coma. And that's pretty terrifying too. But he's apparently fighting COVID, and he is now in a coma. And he started getting symptoms on May 3rd, but Art Howe, former Astros player and manager, is suffering right now. And my only thought is, man, shit, somebody wrap Larry Durker in bubble wrap, because these things happen in threes. Or Nolan. Somebody please put Nolan in a bubble and in a closet with a mask and some Lysol, because damn it, man, if something happens to Nolan right now, that's too much. But rest in peace to Bob Watson, and you'll get well soon, and a speedy recovery to Art Howe if you didn't hear about those, which, you know, I know you guys are radio listeners, so you probably did. But sad news, man. Tough day for the Astros in general. One of the things I teased that I didn't get to yesterday was I found this to be pretty funny, pretty interesting. But there was talk of the Jordan flu game. And there was an article that talked about, did he really have the flu? Now, far be it from me to talk about other people's drama and call them drama queens. And I think if you get to that level, there's a little bit of drama. There's a little bit of showmanship, right? Well, apparently, Jordan's longtime trainer came out and said, it wasn't the flu. It wasn't at all. This is Jordan's quote now. So Michael Jordan says that I almost played myself into passing out. I came in and I almost dehydrated, and it was all just to win a basketball game. I couldn't breathe. My energy level was really low. My mouth was really dry. They started giving me Gatorade, and I thought about an IV. Okay. We all believed it. Flu game, right? We all believed it. But then you watch this documentary and you find out now that Jordan says the time that someone talked trash to him and put or said the good game, when he was like, hey, good game, Jordan. I don't remember what game it was. I think it was the Hornets. And that motivated Jordan, that somebody put his arm around him and said good game when he had a bad game and talked all that trash, and he went out and avenged himself. We find out later that shit never happened. He made all that up just to get his mind right. Okay, I could believe that if you got to get yourself in that position. But then we find out now that his former trainer says that it wasn't the flu at all. And this is, I'm trying to find his name here. Last name Grover. So he's obviously a Muppet. His first trainer was a Muppet, apparently. Anyways, here's the quote. 100%, it was food poisoning. 100%. But obviously it just sounds better to be, quote, the flu game than the food poisoning game. I said, Michael, I got a bad feeling about this. And he was like, man, bleep you. I was like, okay. So Jordan downed a couple slices of pizza and crashed. Hours later, Grover got a call. Then, quote, then about 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call to my room that just says, hey, man, come to MJ's room. And he's literally curled up in the fetal position. Grover continued, a few slices of Utah pizza had toppled the goat. Okay, is anyone Is anyone hearing my voice surprised that Utah tried to poison Michael Jordan? We know that's what really happened. The Jazz tried to kill Michael Jordan. Everyone in Utah was like, not my king, and tried to murder Michael Jordan at a Pizza Hut. You heard it here first. This has been Barry Alex Jones Laminack. But it says, I have not known any flu that can hit you that fast, but I know how quick food poisoning could hit you, Grover said. That's my story. That's what I observed. I was in the room when all this was going on, so if anybody had a better look than I did, I'd like to see who that person was because they definitely weren't there. Wow. Well, I guess now we know MJ had a little drama, didn't he? Mike said, either way, food poisoning is a joke. Is no joke. I've never had food poisoning. I've never had the pleasure of just shitting my brains out. I've never had to experience that. But I also have never lied about having the flu either. I've never had to go and be like, man, I really need some of these people to feel sorry for me. Let me eat some Utah pizza, shit my brains out, and then claim flu. I'm learning a lot about Michael Jordan. I didn't know all this shit. Raheel, when he did the show on Monday, was like, bro, you didn't know this stuff? I'm like, I didn't know a lot of it. I mean, I was a big MJ fan, but it was very surface level. But I didn't realize he was this much of a diva and stuff like that. Chris Householder says, so you've never eaten at Poncho's? Oh, no. Bro, let me tell you what. You see this bicep? That's all from raising the... God damn, that is horrible. Look how sad. That is just... John Westlake. I loved Poncho's, but at some point, you just outgrow diarrhea. I do agree with that. And now Poncho's is never going to sponsor Barry on Deck, and that's okay. All right, I'm going to change this up. I had a whole thing lined up, but I saw something on the chats. I saw something over there where somebody said lawn talk. So here's what we're going to do. It is 2:40. We'll do this for a couple of minutes. So if you guys have a lawn question, fuck it, let's do it. There's no rules here. This is Barry on Deck. We do what the hell we want to do. So, you have a question about your grass? Now look, I don't do gardens. So I can't give you gardening advice. Stick to like grass, maybe some shrubs a little bit. Don't ask me about dandelions and shit like that. Let's just do some lawn talk. Just a little bit, not a lot. Matthew said it's raining, lawns are watered. Yes, and you should have put out your fertilizer prior to. Whose eyes are glassy? Barry's flabby arm needs to return to Twitter. All texting, no tweeting. You can go to hell, buddy. All right. I'll wait. I'll let you guys decide if you have any lawn talk questions. Okay, here's our first one. So Joey wants to know how to properly get rid of weed grass. Well, Joey, when it comes to weeds in your lawn, there are two things you can do. Well, there's a couple things. One, you want to make sure you're putting down a pre-emergent herbicide when it's right. I don't have a schedule, but Randy Lemon absolutely has a fertilization schedule where on that fertilization schedule, he also talks about when you should put down pre-emergent herbicides. So make sure you do that as well. That'll prevent your future weeds, but it doesn't do shit usually. There is a 2-in-1 pre and post emergent. If you don't know what that means, God, this is so great, guys. I can just say whatever I want and no one, Nick and Joel are like, this sucks. Pre-emergent herbicides prevent new weeds from forming. Post-emergent herbicides kill the weeds that are there. So if you find a 2-in-1, that's perfect if you already have weeds. But if you just get a pre-emergent, it's not going to kill what you have. Now, that's step one, is use a pre-emergent herbicide to prevent future weeds. Step two is you want to make sure that you do one of two things. Either get yourself some Weed Beater Ultra is what I love. Now you have to use, it's temperature sensitive, so you have to use it before it gets too hot. It's on the label. I think it's 85 degrees. But if you do that in the spring, that's going to kill most of the weed problems you have. There is also some stuff. Now this is the real tip. Listen, pay attention to me. If you have a weed problem, listen good. Especially stubborn weeds that won't go away. There's this stuff called Celsius. and it will pretty much get rid of any weed that you have, even stubborn ones like Virginia buttonweed. It's expensive as shit, okay? It's not cheap, but it'll work. So find you some Celsius, put that on whatever weed is driving you nuts. You might need 2 applications, but it should work, okay? Okay, let's see what else. I got roots all over. How can I beef up the dirt under my grass? Ooh, damn. Beef up the dirt under my grass. John, I don't know if that's going to be possible. This is the only way I know how to kill roots and vines. Now, this might be wrong, but this is the only way I know how to do it. You have to get a killer into the weed or the vine. Vines are awful. Vines are really tough to kill. Like if you just sprayed Roundup on a vine, it probably won't kill it. But if you can clip the vine, soak something in Roundup, and then put it on top of the vine so that it gets into essentially what are the pores of the vine, you have a much better chance of killing it that way. So outside of removing it, what you might try is this. Dig up the yard in a few spots where those roots exist. Cut it in half. Maybe drill a hole in it. Pour some Roundup in there. Put a rag over the edge into that root with the Roundup in it and see what it does for you. It might knock it out. Outside of that, the only way to beef up the dirt is kill the grass with a Roundup or something similar. And then till it, add dirt, and then resod or reseed depending on what your grass is. All right. Mark, bro, I legit found a mole in my front yard. Moved it to the park nearby. How do I prevent more? I don't know. I'm not an exterminator, bro. I don't know about moles. I have a goddamn mole in my yard. And I'm just like, well, if he's here long enough, maybe I'll have enough dirt to fill in some of these low spots. Honest to God, there's some stuff that gets rid of moles, but I haven't even had a chance to look into it yet. But I would talk to an exterminator guy. I use Coastal Pest, who are really great, and I pay them. This is not an ad. They don't pay me to do an ad, but I use Coastal Pest, so maybe check them out. Any other lawn talk? How often should I set my sprinklers? Ooh, Richard. Good question, my dude. This is a great question. Everyone listen up, and then we'll move on if you guys don't want to talk lawns anymore. Actually, I see more we have to talk about. How often should I set my sprinklers for? It's not about do it once a week or do it this. It's not about how often, it's about how much. And it depends on the grass that you have, but I can speak for St. Augustine. If you have St. Augustine grass, especially starting now through the end of September, October, you need to get your grass at least an inch of water a week. When we get to the end of July and through August, I would try to get it 1.5 inches to 2 weeks of water every single week. So if that means you do it once, cool. That's what I recommend. And here's why. Pay attention. This is important. When you're watering your grass, it's better to water one time for a long time than a lot of times for a short amount of time. So it's better to do it for 2 hours than to do it 10 minutes every day. The reason that is as the water seeps into the ground and it's waterlogged and gets lower, the roots grow deeper. But if you water real shallow for 10 minutes, then the roots tend to not get deeper, which weakens the grass. So the longer you water, the better. So do it longer for less times per week, okay? And here's how you know if you're getting 1 inch of water or not. Take a tuna can or a cat food can. They're about it, but take a tuna can. It's about 1 inch deep. And put it out where your sprinkler goes. Whether you do it manually or you have sprinklers, I put some throughout the yard and then turn it on for an hour and let it run and see how much water is in the can after an hour. If it's half full, guess what? You need to run your sprinklers for 2 hours for the week. So if you do it an hour on Monday and an hour on Friday, whatever, okay? That's probably what I would do, because what I've experienced in the hotter months is I'd rather do 2 waterings a week just to make sure it has grass, all right? But that's the watering, that's what you should be doing when you water. Water deep, water long, don't water a lot for short periods of time, okay? All right, now TJ, I'm not dethatching your lawn. That's not how this works. I don't want to do yard work for anybody else. I just want to talk about it. I'm not, and by the way, if you have St. Augustine, according to Randy Lemon, do not dethatch it. You don't need to, all right? So don't dethatch St. Augustine. Not a big deal. What's up, Jim Coy? How are you, buddy? Cowboy Trav, my man. Barry's garden tools are ready for lawn talk. All right. Okay. All the smoke it jokes. I hate all of you so much. 713 Hooligan, is this seriously happening? Yeah, bro, we did lawn talk. What are you talking about? The numbers, I don't even look, but I bet they went up. I bet we have more than we did before we started lawn talk because everybody was like, oh shit, lawn talk, run. All right. Dude, is there any more that I missed? Burn your lawn talk, careful, Oliver might fire you. My weeds make me laugh. Oh my God. Best weed and feed. Go. Don't use weed and feed, Patrick, and you freaking know this. You just asked that to piss me off. Guys, don't use weed and feed on your yard. It'll kill your trees. Well, there are some weed and feeds that won't hurt your trees, but here's what I need you to do. Seriously, this is Randy Lemon 101 lawn. It's the first thing I ever learned about gardening and lawns from Randy Lemon. Don't use a weed and feed because weed and feeds like Scott's have something called atrazine in them. Atrazine will kill your trees. It's great for weeds, but it's terrible for trees. And when you sprinkle it out and then you water it in, that gets down to the roots of your trees and it'll eventually kill them. So don't use weed and feed. Go get you what I talked about, Weed Beater Ultra. Get you, you can use liquid atrazine, just don't get it near the trees or the tree roots. If you just have like a patch that you need to kill weeds in, get you some liquid atrazine and spray it, and that'll take care of it. But please no weed and feed. Stop doing that. Fertilize, and then pre and post emergent herbicides separately. No weed and feed. Pure B 314 says, I just bought some cuttings of a mulberry tree. Any tips on growing it? Also bought some small habanero plants and tips on growing those. Again, I'm not good at growing things. So no, unfortunately. I will say this about trees because I planted some new ones and this is what I learned. It's a cutting, so it's kind of small. But as you plant trees, make sure they get tons of water. Like you should literally be out there every day watering a tree. So even if it's just a cutting and you put it in a little pot, make sure you keep that soil wet for a while. Let it grow. God damn, I can't even keep up with all this. John Fines can eat shit. All right, that's enough lawn talk, guys. That was way more lawn talk than I planned to do. And yes, Alan, McGrath Pest Control. Scott, call me, buddy. McGrath Pest Control is a good one, but I use Coastal Pest as well, and they've been great. Here you go. Last one. Kevin Wallace said, Celsius is on Amazon for $134 for 10 ounces. God damn, you wasn't lying. It's crazy expensive. But, bro, I'm telling you, that shit works. One of the hardest weeds to kill in our area is Virginia buttonweed because it will take over a whole lawn and wreck it. And every year I have to get out there with my little, sprayer and kill all of it. But that shit works, dude. So go get that Celsius, okay? Roland said, talk about brown patch. Weeds are gone, just can't grow grass in like 2 spots. Roland, I feel like what just happened is we're now going to save lawn talk for Fridays. Because I feel like this is like legit what you guys want. At first I thought we were all just joking around, but y'all are legit serious about this shit. So I tell you what, I want to move on. We only got 5 more minutes before we go to a break and bring in Jong Lee to get his thoughts on the changes at ESPN and talk sports and talk shit. So save it. Roland, bleep you too, bro. Bleep you too. No, seriously, Roland. Okay, I was trying to get to it. Look, this is the disrespect that I get from Roland. Right? Like, what? No, what is it? Right there. That's the disrespect I get. I don't know how to point. This isn't good. But we'll do it. I'll answer your question next week, Roland. Come back on Friday and we'll talk lawns and I'll answer brown patch questions because it is important. I still struggle with it, but I'll have some tips for you. Okay. Where was the last? Oh, before we go, I had to bring up this shit because I do for a moment. I don't want to get racist. But can we talk about the decision in Germany? And it's always got to be white people that do some shit like this. And this is what I mean by getting racist. But there is There was a restaurant in Germany. Let me find my link here. There was a restaurant in Germany who is putting pool noodles on people's heads. Hear me now. Hear me close. They're putting pool noodles on people's heads to enforce social distancing. I'm getting lightheaded. I'm legit getting lightheaded. What are we doing? What are we doing? Who's going out to dinner and putting this shit on their head? First of all, what? Okay, so there was one restaurant that was like, hey, let's put mannequins in the booths, which is creepy as shit. Don't put mannequins, okay? Because then you're going to have some pervert that comes in and he's like addicted to sex dolls and he's going to hump all your patrons. Don't use mannequins. That's creepy. Then there was a restaurant that was putting stuffed pandas. Kind of weird too. This though, I would rather there be mannequins than this weird shit. This is in Germany. I'm not wearing this while I'm eating. I'll go somewhere else. Enjoy your pool noodles. I wonder if this is at the Noodle House. That was a horrible joke, and I apologize. I'm better than that. No, I'm not. What kind of weird shit is this? This is outstanding. How come we as a society, we as a people, can't just go back the fuck up? Like, I don't need a noodle on my head to tell you to give me 6 feet, man. Just give me 6 feet. I don't need noodles. This is, boy. By the way, Jong Lee over there in the chat, and I'm sad to report that he's coming up at 3 o'clock. Hasn't been drinking. Well, Jong, I have not a lot, but maybe I'll chug this at the break and have another one with you, buddy. Okay, it's about that time. So, guys, that's hour number 1 in the books. It's been crazy. It's been fun. Coffee, Jong? What a lame. It's been fun. I hope I put to bed any questions you guys had about me with ESPN and Josh Ennis and the move over there. I wish everybody the best of luck. I'm not sad. I'm not upset. I do want to remind everybody, though, where it's very important that everybody...
Yeah! You better fucking slow down and watch that stop sign, bitch!
Please remember to slow down and watch that stop sign, bitch. And that's it. Don't wear pool noodles. Okay, listen. 5-minute break right here. You guys know the drill now if you've been tuning in all week. It's a 5-minute break. This gives me a chance to go pee-pee. This gives me a chance to get Jong on there. And when we get back from the 5-minute break, we got Jong Lee in the house. And we got all kinds of stuff to get to. He did post some. Jong hopped in my little rundown and added a bunch of shit. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to get his thoughts on Josh Ennis as well. But we'll talk all kinds of stuff. PS5 has a new engine out and it looks amazing. We'll get to all that as well. You guys know the deal. It's break time. We're gone for 5 minutes and then we're right back. Don't go anywhere. Please come back. You know I'll be sad if you don't. We'll be back. 5 minutes. Barry on deck. That's a little longer than we anticipated. That's my bad. We had a little technical problem. I had to pee. So got that out of the way. Barry on Deck, hour number 2. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you guys for being here. Hour number 2, I always bring in a guest, and I'm super excited that today is Friday, and my guest is a guy who, in a lot of ways, can relate to my last 24 hours. But he's also just a great dude, and he's great at radio, and he's funny, and he's awesome. And I'm happy that he's here. So please do me a favor. Welcome Jong Lee to Barry on Deck. Jong, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing good. What's new?
Nothing. I feel like, seriously though, I feel like we just did this. Like, you and I just did a live chat, which you killed it, by the way. You got shit-faced and hammered, and you absolutely murdered that live chat. People loved it. So then I was like, well, once I got laid off, which was only a few days later, I was like, man, I'm going to do this show. I want the first week to be nothing but people from ESPN 95 that have been fired or let go or quit. And in a way, you quit, but you were kind of let go. I mean, so here you are. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. And people are saying my light is too bright, so I'll try to turn that down a little bit.
Get up and go turn it down. I'll go full screen.
It's a smart light. Light.
Oh, well, shit. My bad, bro. You're all fancy pants. I don't have smart lights, but I have a lot of remotes. So I bought these. All right, here's the thing. Because I was doing these YouTube videos, right? I started watching other people's like live chats and their videos, and I started getting ideas of what everybody else was doing. And one of the things I noticed was that everybody had a cool background in their videos, right? Like everybody had lighting. So I bought a bunch of like LED lights, and they each come with their own remote. So I bought 2 of the same light, and now I have 2 of the same remote there. And then I bought 2 LED bulbs by themselves, which also came with their own remotes. And then I have my fan and my light, which has its own remote. And then I have my camera remote. I have my desk TV remote. I have my cable remote. Bro, this is a problem. Like, this is literally a problem that I have right now. There's too much shit.
Yo, man, for somebody that used to be in IT, like you gotta do something with that, man.
I do gotta get a smart light. I could just have like 1 or 2 and be done, but I have too much shit over here. But
like you don't have your house isn't like set up with like a hub where you can.
I have a Samsung Smart Hub, and I love that thing. Like, I love it. Like, I have my porch light, and I have lights in my soffits all the way around the house. They're automated to come on at sunset, and then they go off at sunrise. That's cool, but I don't have like a smart light in my office. It's just I have to do this. So I mean, it's a remote, but it's not smart. I can't change the colors and all that shit.
Get the clapper. The clapper.
What am I 80 now? I'm 80 years old. I gotta get a clapper. That would be my mom. She's like, babe, guess what? We upgraded the house to be in a smart house. Watch. And it's like, yo, mom, that's not a smart house, okay? That's just an old house. How you been, man?
I've been okay. It's been almost 2 weeks since we chatted.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot's happened. A lot's happened.
I feel like we should just get right to it, but I really want to just make people wait. I was kind of selfish because, am I wrong for this, John? I haven't asked anybody yet. But am I wrong that last night, Josh Ennis announces that he's going to be on ESPN from 2 to 4, taking over for the Will Cain show, which, by the way, I didn't listen to the show, but apparently everyone didn't like it. Yeah, you used to program there. Was that ever an option? The Will Cain show? Was that something that you looked at and was like, "Ooh, this could be a thing"?
No, because at the time, well, man, this is going back a ways because we haven't had national programming in middays in quite some time. And the last real midday show we carried was Scott Van Pelt. Mm-hmm. And he's been on TV for, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, doing that late night Sports Center thing. So he hasn't been on. Oh, I take it back. Ryan Russillo was on right after that. And then soon after Ryan Russillo got his own show, we gave it a little bit. And then we kind of moved to more local programming. because it just gave David Gow more leverage to go, hey, this isn't really what we signed up for. We're gonna try a new local show, and we'll move over maybe Stephen A. Smith to 1560 at the time. And so we did that, and so we carried Stephen A. Smith for I think 2 hours, and then we transitioned you guys in, and so it's been about 2.5 years or so since we've carried ESPN national midday shows, and I've met Will. And he is not like his on-air persona. He is one of the most humble, nicest guys I've ever met that's like famous.
What is his on-air persona? Because honest to God, Jong, and you know this, I don't listen to a lot of sports talk radio. And let me just tell everybody why. It's not because I don't love it. I absolutely love sports talk radio, and I love talk radio, and I love to consume it. But when you start doing it, I don't want to start stealing people's ideas. I don't want to start let their takes be my takes or let their style be my style. So I kind of distance myself. Same as a comic. I don't watch a lot of comedy, like especially like local guys, because I don't want to end up mimicking or imitating it. What is his style? Because honestly, I don't know.
Very controversial, I guess I would say. Conservative, I would. He could. I think he could fit right in with, and I think this was a rumor going around that he was going to jump to Fox, and also do some political stuff as well over there at Fox. I don't know if it was TV or if it was radio.
So he kind of mixes politics with his sports. He's a more conservative, like the Rush Limbaugh of sports or something.
I think so, and I think he's kind of out there. I think he was when you took away Skip Bayless, they were missing that one person that had a completely radical view of a bunch of different things. I'm not saying Skip was conservative. I don't know what his political leanings are, but they were missing that one piece. Max Kellerman came in, and I think all the stuff he's doing is like almost forced. And then they saw Will Kane, an up and coming guy that had hot takes, I guess you would say, and they brought him in. And he almost became a third person to that First Take show. I don't know how often he's on there, and then he got that midday show, and I think they were trying to appease a different portion of the American audience with the Will Kane show.
The white, more conservative.
Mm-hmm. And so
I don't want all this Jamel Hill hippity hoppities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they did that to kind of try to level it out. And there's been rumors for I think about the last couple of months where his contract I guess is coming up, and Fox is maybe interested in bringing him in.
Really, I feel like that's the move. You go from ESPN and you build up, and then you're like, oh, okay, I need to go make money and use this leverage that I have. So then you go over to ESPN or to Fox and get money. So I mean, I don't know. I was curious. So from a programming perspective, when they had to let me and Rahil go, they had to shuffle the deck and do some things and do national programming from 2 to 4. And I kind of know, because the usual suspects wouldn't exist without making national programming go away. That was kind of the point, was it's a way to leverage more ads, more revenue for the station. So one, I don't think that they were like, man, let's get Will Kane on air, because they would actually, in the long run, be losing money, even though the economy sucks ass right now. Is that a fair statement, that Will Kane would have never been a thing had this economy not been what it is?
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, Will Kane would have not seen the light of day, and you guys would have still been on. But I mean, it just kind of sucks, the timing of everything, and then this whole thing that happened a couple of days yesterday, I guess. Happened
last night.
So
what are your thoughts on what happened? And you and I have not discussed this. Full disclosure, I gave my side of it because my phone lit up, as you can imagine. My phone went nuts. And everybody was like, what do you think? What is your thoughts? And Lamont wanted me to get into it on Twitter. And I was like, look, is it wrong of me, Jong, that I saw an opportunity to market this show? And I was like, I'm not going to do this on Twitter. If you want to know my thoughts, come watch my show.
So
is that wrong?
No, that's not wrong at all.
Okay. Because I was like, fuck that. I'm doing this on air. Like, you got to come and give me a YouTube view, bro, if you want to know how I feel about it. And I was honest with the people. So your thoughts?
It's it's an interesting move, to say the least. I'm not surprised that it happened. And then I saw on Twitter all the details of exactly what was gonna be, I guess,
The arrangement.
what the compensation and arrangement
Well,
was.
I think
And
compensation might be the wrong word.
I guess arrangement.
It's out there. He's working for free. He's going to
Yeah.
split the advertising that he brings with the station in order. So basically, in a roundabout way, he's paying for the airtime by bringing his sponsors that he had on his independent show, much like this one. He had sponsors, and he's saying, look, if you put me on your airwaves, I'll split that revenue with you. Give me the 2 to 4 time slot, and I'll split the revenue. So he's still getting half of his ad revenue. I guess, well, I don't want to interrupt you. What are your thoughts? Keep going.
I think it's more than half.
Is it? Okay.
I think I saw that out there, but it's
He's keeping more than half or giving more than half?
I think he's keeping more than half. I'm not sure. Okay. I thought I saw that on Twitter, but so he's radically different from the lead-in show. I'm not surprised that he's at 97.5. Him and AJ are, they're pretty good friends, I would say. I don't know if they're friends, but I guess in a working relationship, I think they both mutually have a lot of respect for each other.
Right.
Now, the timing of it, I don't know if it was the best just because of what happened last week.
Monday night, yeah. Last show was Wednesday.
Yeah, that was within a...
My last show was Wednesday. The Usual Suspects ends at Wednesday from 1 to 4. Thursday and Friday, Nick do the show solo because that's my last day. And then Monday of this week, the new lineup starts. So Monday starts the press box, I think is what it's called. And it's Charlie, Joel, and Nick from 11 to 1. It's Joel and Nick from 11 to 2. And then it was Will Kane from 2 to 4. And that lasted all of 4 days. And apparently Ennis reached out on Monday is what I'm understanding. So the deal was...
He reached out to AJ?
Yeah. Apparently Ennis approached AJ and said, hey, I'll do the 2 to 4 time slot for free. Just give me the time.
Yeah, I mean, he is a very polarizing guy. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. I don't think there's much of a middle ground. And so in terms of ratings-wise, I think it's not going to do worse than the Will Kane show. I can almost guarantee you that.
Right.
And from a station standpoint, I understand the move because, you're at least bringing in some revenue if he's bringing sponsors. And if he's not bringing in sponsors, you're really not losing anything because you're not paying the guy. And also the only thing that you're really paying is a producer to sit in the studio, and which you would have to done anyway with Will Kane to have a board op in there. So You're not really, you're not losing anything.
So from a PD's perspective, this was a shrewd business move on their part.
I would say it was a smart move.
Okay.
Yeah, I think almost everything AJ's done over there. I can't really think of a negative that he's really done over there, other than having to let you guys go. But yeah, there hasn't been a lot of moves where I'm kind of shaking my head. Even this one, I'm like, it's a smart move.
He's polarizing though, Jong, and there's been, and I don't know this to be true, and I just want to point that out. Don't hate me on the chat. Don't at me, bitches. But there are people that are like, he's a racist. He's a shit stirrer. He's a pot stirrer. Which, listen, if you stir the pot, if you talk shit, I did that. I would get people riled up. I understand that. That's the business. But when you start throwing out he's a racist, that's a whole different thing. And it wasn't just one person. There were several people that were saying that. Is that worth the risk? As a PD, let me ask you this. Let me rephrase this whole thing. If you were still the programmer of ESPN 97.5, and Josh, you're there this week, you had to let me go because of economics. David Gow and everybody else agreed, look, we want to keep these guys. We want to keep your Hill and Barry, but we can't. The money's too much. We're hemorrhaging. We need to cut the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. And then a week later, Josh Ennis calls you, Jong Lee, the programmer of ESPN 97.5, and says, I'll do the show for free. What do you say?
I'd probably wait a few weeks, or at least wait for some of the hurt that you and Raheel have fans, and it's clearly showing here on the live stream of your show. But
they're here for you, buddy. Don't even try it. They're here for you.
No, I also understand in terms of because I was in the middle of like having to answer to the bosses, to David Gao and Todd over there, and I was in the other side where I had to make sure that we were putting on decent programming. So I get it from both ears. If Josh Innes contacted me, which I don't think he would have ever done because he doesn't know me, and I don't don't really know him.
But he could have seen an opportunity. Oh, they have national programming from 2 to 4, which was local.
Which I think that's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I would have taken that and went to David and Todd and said, "Hey, this is Josh reached out and said he would be willing to do the show for free. He just would want a ad revenue split of whatever sponsors that he brings in." Mm-hmm. And they would have probably said, and I'm guessing this is what happened too, and I have no idea what exactly happened, but I'm sure AJ presented this opportunity and they said, "Bring him in. Let's do this as soon as we can do it, so we can at least try to start bringing in some more money." And that's what I think happened. And I think if AJ had his way, I think he may have put a little bit more time in between you guys being let go and then bringing him in.
Well, and there's a message in the chat that I just put on the screen it's from Terry McCown that says, "It seems like this fell into place way too quickly. Almost seems as if things were put in motion prior to letting Barry and Raheel go." And I think that's why you're saying what you're saying. I honestly don't believe that. And I don't either. I'm not going to go into details as to why, but let's just say that AJ and I have talked. And do I think AJ, if he was plotting something, would tell me? No, I'm not that fucking stupid. I'm not ignorant. But I know what the plan was for the station. Because AJ, me and him have been friends for 10 years, and I can't imagine that having to let me go was easy on him. But I know that there were things that he would have loved to have seen long-term happen. This wasn't it. So that's why I don't think that anything went on behind my back that I didn't know about. No, I'm also very naive, and I'm also too trustworthy. And I think you're like that too, though, Jong. Like, I take people for what they tell me. I take shit for face value. But I don't think there was a conspiracy, and I don't think that this was pre-planned. But there are a lot of people in my ear, in my inbox, and my Twitter DMs that are like, "You're dumb. They had this shit planned." Do you think so?
I don't think so. I mean, I've probably known AJ as long as you have. Mm-hmm. You and him have probably a closer relationship, but within the decade of knowing him, I've never known him to be manipulative and a liar.
Amen. He is a very face value kind of guy. If AJ wanted me to fuck off, he would have told me.
Yes.
Straight up.
And he's known Raheel for just as long. And
longer.
I think
Raheel interned for him at Texas when he was in Austin.
And so I don't think that he would have done that. Now, we never really know anybody's really true intentions, but of everything that I know of AJ, that's not the person that he is. It's coming down over here.
Bro, are you telling me lies? The Lord is angry with you, Jong Lee. I thought, you know what I thought when that just happened? I was like, is he flexing where he's like, "Look, bitch, strobe light, boom, 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 Club Jong in this hoe." That was the Lord Jesus mad at Jong Lee's house. What have you done over there? Are you sinning? What's...
No, I'm talking to you.
Jesus don't like me, bro. You're in trouble. So at the end of the day, you probably make this move later, but you don't do it right away. And I get that. And I see, here's the problem, is there's a part of me that knows what the optics look like. And I think that's why AJ, because you and I both know AJ normally doesn't respond to a lot of people. He normally doesn't get on Twitter and defend himself a lot. Maybe for one troll that won't leave him alone. But last night, I saw AJ on Twitter for a very long time trying to be like, "Man, I love Barry. I wish him the best. I want his show to succeed." It was either, I didn't have a choice. This isn't planned, this, that. But he's defending himself a lot. And then also told me that that's not AJ's style. So I know that he probably was serious about wanting people to know that this isn't what was intended. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. Well, with the trolls thing, I think you're right. Like there are a couple of them that will get on him, but I think he responds to trolls more than he should. And I think he was getting a lot of backlash from a lot of people because one, you let go actually the only person of color on air over there at 97.5, and
That's the bad part.
That is the bad part. And somebody
Well,
that's
Dell, but I was telling Nora about this because I was like, some people are calling him racist, which is unfair. You and I both know AJ's not a racist. I want to put that out there right now. AJ is not a racist. He's just not. If you want to say he's a shitty PD, I won't stop you. I disagree. But he's not a racist. He's not. I've known this man for a decade. AJ is not a racist. This was not a move based on race. He let go of a white guy. He let go of a Middle East Pakistani.
Okay. Yeah.
That's this was an economics decision, not a race-based decision. What he did is there was an opportunity where a guy wanted to come back and he happened to be white. If this was Jerome Solomon, who approached AJ and said, I'll do the 2 to 4 slot for free and I'll split my advertising money with you, AJ would say, okay. If that was the business decision side of it. So please, and I don't want to keep defending AJ because I don't need to and I don't have to. He's a big boy. But I do know this man, and I don't want there to be the wrong messages sent. If you want to call him a shitty decision maker, I'm not going to stop you. But if you want to call him a racist, I'm going to have to tell you, no, that's not true.
Just people thinking that you're not black.
For 3 years I spent on air, I had to deal with when people would meet me and they would go, "You're Barry Laminack?" I go, "Yeah." And they were like, "Bro, I thought you were black, man. Like, you don't, what? You're a white guy?" And I'd be like, "Are you going to stop listening now? Because I'm a white guy?" And it would usually be black dudes who were like, "Oh, man, like, what? We thought we had a brother on the station." It's like, no, I just sound like that, I guess. I don't know. But you're right. The optics of it, that's the big thing about this, Jong, I think, is, it's how this looks. We can debate all day about planning and what it was and why and the reasons. But at the end of the day, I do agree with everybody that says it looks bad. And that's just as if I wanted to pull back from all of this and just be a neutral observer, it doesn't look good that you let 2 guys go that turned out to be pretty popular. And then you bring in another polarizing guy a week later. It looks bad, but I don't think that it was planned. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, and you're in, I wouldn't say you're in a no-win situation, but with the 2 decisions that were made, you're kind of in that tough spot. And you're going to be in a tough spot in terms of ratings wise if you continue to carry on the Will Kane show, and then you're having to. I was gonna say you're gonna have to answer to other people, but they're smart. The people in charge are smart enough to realize 2 to 4 is a dead spot for us. Will Kane, like that probably won't pull any numbers for us. Like, you're not gonna get in trouble for that. And there were times where I didn't get in trouble for a certain show that was on from 9 to 10 in the morning after Mike and Mike that I didn't get in trouble for, but it caused me such a pain in the ass. And he talks like this. So they realized.
Did you wish somebody would have warned you? What?
I mean, you got it firsthand with that belly button.
Hey, no, I'm in the Hall of Fame. Put some respect on it.
No, so people realize they don't just look at the numbers and say, "Oh, this has to be better." But as a person that had to, make the numbers look better, that was the worst thing, the worst show that I had to deal with. Because they were just but one person was so against changing that, the first big meeting I had with them, I spent 3 hours in the studio trying to convince them why they needed to change some of the stuff that they did, and ultimately that they ended up changing a couple of things. The ratings went up a little bit, and then they moved them over to 1560, which then I kind of wiped my hands clean of that.
You were like.
No, but as a owner and a general manager of a radio station, you have to, and they do a good job of just looking at it and just saying, "Oh yeah, this is Will Kane show. We're not gonna punish him for having a crappy rating between 12 and 2." And they're pretty hands off, and so they're pretty easy, and they're pretty easy. I would say Gao and Todd are pretty easy to work for.
Oh, very much so. I totally agree with that. And, I loved working for you, and AJ wasn't bad. He did things a little bit different. But I would tell him, he would come in the middle of a show and yell at me for not doing something or doing something. Or tell, why the fuck are you guys doing this or that? And it's like, doing this job. And he, to his credit, he said he would work on it and he got a lot better at it. But AJ's just tell it like it is, in your face, that moment. No big deal. No hard feelings. Don't get your feelings hurt. We're all big boys kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But you can't, when people are creating something, when people are trying to entertain, it's a lot of doing this is feel. It's energy. It's emotion. It's, if you're in a good mood, you're going to make great radio. But if someone comes in and shits on you for something you just did, you're like, damn, dude, I don't even like. So he would come in the middle of the show and scold us, and then I'd be like, well, I would lose my vibe. But he started working on that. But outside of that, man, you can't knock. He's doing the best he can do, and I truly believe that. What I want to know from you, is
how much I water my lawn?
No,
damn it!
But you've been in the same position. Now you were replaced
sort of.
As well.
Sort of.
You were. But I feel like our experiences are vastly different. What was
sort of,
because
different.
I was let go for economic reasons. There was something put in place to fill that spot, and then someone came along and said, "I'll do it." In your case, it was a little bit different. The decision was made before you were let go. You weren't necessarily demoted. You were asked to take a lesser role, and you had a decision to make. What were your feelings? Because I've given my feelings, but I don't know if you've ever sat down and told anyone. What was it? What were your thoughts when it happened with you and in your situation?
I felt blindsided, I guess you would say. I walked in. I forget what the meeting was called. It was called, I don't know. It was something about the radio station lineup or something, and I got called in with Fred and Todd and David to his office it was January of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
God,
I got called in.
Has it been that long, Jong?
Yeah. So almost a year and a half. So we start talking, and then how meetings kind of start. They kind of start small talk.
So
small talk.
What's going on, buddy?
The weather's kind of crazy, right?
You got winter. Smart lights. I was thinking about getting smart lights. Get out. Like what? This shit just happened. Yeah.
No, but yeah, the decision was already made when I when I sat down, and they said we want to go in this direction, and I don't know how much detail I want to.
I listen. I don't want you to say anything you don't want to say, but I feel like we're Eskimo brothers in a way. I said that about Raheel. Raheel and I are Eskimo brothers because we got laid off at the same time on the same day for the same reason. You and I are Eskimo brothers because there was a controversial replacement for us. So I don't want you to burn bridges, and that's not what I'm asking you, because I'm really asking more, what did you feel? Because I know for me, and I did this in hour number 1, so people should rewind and go back if they're just tuning in, but I told people exactly what I'm feeling. I have nothing but love in my heart right now. Why would I be mad about it? I can't control what happened. I said I don't think I was let go because of performance, but I've got so much love and support that I'm not upset about this. More people are upset, and I love that, but I'm not mad. But what I don't think anybody ever asked you was, how do you feel? Everybody asked about the decision, but what did you feel when you went through this?
I felt betrayed. It's not a good feeling, and I've never felt like that in my professional career before, where literally like 3 eyes are looking at me like, yeah, this is what we're doing, kind of thing. And there was one person in there trying to softened the blow a little bit. Fred was in there trying to watch out for my best interest, and I think looking back on it, I think if it was just me and David, I think it would have maybe went over a little better.
Yeah.
I don't think that Todd and Fred, and to their credit, I think they wanted to be in there to make sure that it wasn't going to be, they wanted to show support. I think that's what they were going to do. But I think they didn't need to be in there. And it just, while this is going on, it just kind of, you look back on like, oh, what did I do? Like, what could I have done differently? Like, this is like, I'm just sitting there like, I'm weighing my options, and
it's devastating, bro.
It is devastating. I've never felt like that before.
I was, when AJ called me, and I texted AJ later, and I don't want to make this all about me. This is about you. But I for a long time, and not a long time, all things considered, because this shit only happened a couple of weeks ago. But I didn't reach out to AJ, and then I thought that could not have been easy to lay your friend off, to let your friend go. So I reached out to him, but like you said, it couldn't have been easy. But there's that sense of you're blindsided. It's betrayal. It's you go through a gamut of. I thought I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my car. I don't have a job. How am I going to pay for this? What's going to happen? I was devastated.
Yeah, me too. And but like you said earlier, this is vastly different where they weren't letting me go, and I think people in the comments are saying, "Oh, Jong was let go. I didn't know." No, I left on my own.
Yeah.
I kind of
you were replaced.
I guess,
you weren't let go, but you were replaced.
Yeah, it wasn't replaced. It was more. I think their plan was, let's bring in someone else to do like the work with you on the other side of things, where you take this portion of the job,
right? He
takes this portion of the job, but it kind of was a slap in the face because I was doing the two jobs together for about 3 or 4 years. I forget when Tepper left, but that's whenever Dave left, I got put in that position, sort of, and I got, it was my time to run with that position for, I think it was 3 or 4 years. But anyway.
And we talked about the details of that, so go back and look at Jong's live chat on Barry is Funny on YouTube. I'm promoting. I'm such a whore. But you went into detail on that and that's why I didn't want to read. This is more about going through it. And, well, go please continue the story, because you were talking about being in the room with them. And so I want you to get back to the feeling side of it.
Yeah, it's just your body kind of goes numb a little bit, and then you have this like out of body experience where you're kind of like looking around the room, but it feels like you're like, I couldn't move. Mm-hmm. And the room went silent for a while, and they kind of asked if I had any feelings or whatever, and I was collecting my thoughts, and I was like, this isn't, I don't feel good. I'm sure I said some stuff that, I take back, but I can't remember it.
Really?
So
that's so unlike you.
It's
understandable, but unlike you, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, I've popped off at Joel before.
Sure.
Like I've told him to bleep off before, and I think of all the on-air talent, I think he was the one that got to me the most, and I don't know what it is. I love the guy, because the show that we put together, it ultimately became a very big success, and with that success came a mutual respect for each other, me and him. The relationship didn't necessarily start off the greatest, but I think by the time I left, I had just as much respect for him as he did for me. So Absolutely. I think in terms of like professionals, I don't know if we'll ever be friends, but as professionals, I have a lot of respect for that man. Mm-hmm. But anyway, after I collected my thoughts, I said my piece, and they basically told me, hey, just take the rest of the day, go home, think about it. We'll find somebody else to do the blitz. And I think Tyler stepped in or whatever. And I went home and I thought about it. I basically was pretty furious. And, Teresa, God bless her soul, was on the blunt end of that. And she basically sat down and listened to everything, listened to me pour my heart out about like all the stuff that I had to do, like all this energy and all this effort I put behind the radio station, then we calculated what we wanted to do next. And she didn't force me to go one way or the other, but so I kind of just said, I think I want to leave. And so she was supporting me on whatever decision I was going to make. So I decided the next day I was going to go in and tell them I was going to leave, put my 2 weeks in and leave. And she was pretty upset about everything too, and she basically told me, "Don't give them 2 weeks, just leave." But
Good for you.
But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that at this radio station. I couldn't do that. And after I slept on it, I said, there's a lot of other people out there at the radio station that I put a lot of sweat and tears behind, building up the radio station, coaching a lot of the producers, working with like you and everybody else there.
Buddy, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for you. It's not just one person that makes a show successful, but there are core people that make individuals and shows successful. And I would have never gotten to where we won books when you were there, dude. You had a significant impact on that station. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. But like now, I'm fine with everybody at the station. I go up there. I sometimes do podcasts with Michael here and there, and I say hi to everybody. I have no ill feelings towards anybody at the radio station. And to me, I think it was more of a like, this is a sign to move on from doing radio, starting a family, because in the position that that you're in when you're leading programming or you're in charge of programming, it takes a lot of hours and man hours to be put into that role, and I don't know how much longer I would have lasted if I didn't. I don't know. I can't say if that never happened, if I was going to still be there or not. I still miss doing the show, and I still love everybody at the radio station to death, including me and AJ are still really good friends. We'll text each other here and there. I texted AJ whenever the Raheel and Barry Lamnock thing happened, and I was like, man, that sucks. I would have hate to be in that position, and I was in that position. I've been in that position before.
Let your friends go. See,
I had to let Abel go, and he was one of my dearest friends at the radio station, and it took every ounce of me fighting for him, and they just were like, we have to cut costs.
That's the thing, Jong, that I don't think people do understand specifically about Gal Media. And again, I'm not sucking anybody's D here. I mean, I've already said fuck, so I don't know why I couldn't say dick there. That's weird. That's probably just the crown trying to be a good boy. But it's a family. We're a close knit bunch. We hang out more. We're not a conglomerate. We're not a corporation where there's a PD that's over a region or anything like that. It's us against the world, basically, from on air all the way to the end. And when you're a family like that, or you have that family kind of environment, and not everybody, but 90% of that station felt like a close family. But then you have to make a business decision. It makes it much more difficult.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
There was and I don't think you might have been doing Sundays at the time. This must have been 5 or 6 years ago. We just had a huge purge at the radio station, and at the time I think Aaron got let go and Abel got let go on the local side, and of course Aaron's back over producing the Blitz. And God, I love that guy. He was one of my bigger success stories over at the radio station, and Aaron, he's doing a fantastic job over there. Yeah, good dude. But I had to let both of those people go, and they kind of they came and asked me, "Hey, do you want us to do this?" I go, "No, they work for the local side. I should be the one to let them go." And they got let go. It was devastating for both of them. I think Abel kind of took it as like he kind of saw it coming, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And now I think he works for a brewery, which I think was like the dream for that man. Either a gym, because that man is like hulked out, or a brewery because he loves beer. Uh-huh. And Aaron didn't take it as well because he's much younger, had a wife, had a family to take care of. And so, and through his perseverance, and this goes towards his character, that he took a part-time gig with us. He took a job at a grill shop, went over to 790 at iHeart and did part-time stuff there too, and then ultimately came back to 97.5. So I mean, I think that's a very big success story. But anyway, I mean, to be in that position is terrible.
Yeah.
And on the network side that year, I think maybe 6 months before, they let go of a shit ton of people, like a lot.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. This business, this is a
sucks.
cruel fucking business, man. This is a cruel business. So you have to know, like, I'm trying to think how to. I was told, and maybe it wasn't the best time, but AJ told me when he let me go, hey, you're not really in radio until you've been fired. And maybe that's not the best time to tell somebody that, is when you're firing them. But I know that he was trying to find the right words to tell me you belong in this business, but the economics, we can't do it right now. And, other people have told me that. And that is a thing. It's just, it's a cruel business. It's a shitty business. As wonderful as it is, it's still a tough business if you're in radio. That's just a fact.
And somebody asked on the
I know,
comment
it's
section.
so hard to keep up with the chat, bro.
Yeah.
Especially as just one dude. It's so hard. So I'm glad you're reading it too. Because I don't want people to think I'm ignoring them, but I'm trying to okay, is there anything that I need to ask? So go ahead. What did you see?
Who was it here? I think Michael Tran asked if he stole my job. AJ stole my job, and that wasn't the case. They wanted me and him to work the same position.
Together?
To do one position.
Yeah.
Together. And I think what set me off was that they wanted me. The pay was going to be the same. They wanted me to take a role, a title that I was holding under Dave Tepper, and they were going to give him the program director title. And so I was like, well, and this has nothing against AJ. Like, this is separate from that. And it was more of, hey, like, we want you to. They didn't know. My guess is that they didn't know what my title was, and so they were like, "Oh, we're gonna give you the assistant program director title." I go, and I didn't say this to them, but I was just like, I had that title when Dave Tepper was here.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna give the program director title to somebody that hasn't done the job before.
Yeah.
So that's what angered me.
Fact. Yeah.
And me and him, I think the next Tuesday, me and AJ hashed it out. We talked, and I still told him, I'm gonna leave, and he was, he wanted me to stay, and he was envisioning 2 program directors. He wanted to basically do the job together because, as anyone would know, I mean, I guess nobody really knows, but that job is very hard for one person to do, let alone somebody that has a drive time show. And you have to put in a lot of hours, and he was thinking, hey, we split the job, and I'll do this part, you do this part. But the way it was presented to me, it was insulting, I guess, to me.
Very insulting.
And I have all the love in the world for everybody over there, but it's just, I didn't like how it was positioned to me, and that's why I left.
Yeah. Well, I really did not want this to consume the whole hour, but I feel like, with what went on, I want to move on. Do you have anything else you want to add? A lot of this has been great because I think because of what's going on, a lot of people never got answers to the questions with you. It was kind of a weird deal. And so when you left, people didn't get the full story. So, and I know you're never going to disparage ESPN, and I wouldn't want you to, or anybody there, but I like the truth, and I appreciate you being honest in a lot of ways. And I know everybody does. And I know guys like AJ wouldn't expect anything less. They're the same kind of people where you just tell the truth. This is what happened. It's the fact of the matter. Nobody's upset. You're living a great life right now, aren't you? What are you doing right now? What are you doing?
I've enrolled in a master's class. I'm going to get my master's. I finished my real estate license. I got that back in October.
So if you need a house, call Jong.
It's a buyer's market. If you're looking for a house, you should, really look at buying a house.
Do you have a website or anything yet? Are you with an agent, an agency?
Yeah, I am with a broker. I haven't actively sold anything because right after I got it, I was like, man, I need to do something else more stable. So I'll say, Teresa was like, man, you're really good at teaching. Like you're good with young producers at the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
You did a good job of. And she goes, you look at everybody over there, all the young producers, like 95% of everybody over there is from me, and that's what she said. And she said, why don't you think about becoming a teacher? And I go, oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Do you like teaching?
And so Yeah, I love that. My favorite part of used to working at the radio station was taking somebody that I saw a lot of potential in and coaching them up. And I took a lot of pride into having my producers being stolen from the network side, and I love watching young producers go up in ranks. And
Yep.
Jose, I think, is a big one over at the
Love
radio
Jose.
station. I think he does a podcast with Raheel. Aaron is one of them. Tyler was a big success story.
Yep.
A couple of them that aren't there anymore. Bobby Beats.
Yeah.
All those people over there. I think that's what I took pride in the most. And so she was like, "Why don't you become a teacher?" So and then I decided, let me enroll in this teacher certification class.
Yeah.
Certification class. And so I did it. I completed it, but then COVID hit, and I needed 15 hours of observation.
You ain't getting that.
I ain't getting that. And so I couldn't get the 15 hours of observation. And so I'm basically SOL for a year.
Damn, really?
Because I can get the observation in the fall, but no real districts aren't really looking to hire in January, you know?
Yeah.
So
they don't know what's going on still.
They want to take that summer off and look for teachers during the summer, and most teachers will leave during the summer. And so I'm not double up, but I'm going to take a full course load in the fall and in the spring, and hopefully by next summer I can get finish my master's degree, and then I basically will command more money if I become a teacher.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you are certainly a guy that's you're a high character guy. You're a great dude, and you're a wonderful instructor. Because you're the qualities that you have about being patient with people and being able to talk to people, and you're patient. You're very even keeled, and all that stuff is going to help you in that business. My mom was a teacher for years, and she has some of those same characteristics. You're going to be a wonderful teacher. You really are.
Somebody asked, you talk about getting fired, everybody getting fired for 45 minutes, and then say it's great to buy a house.
John Wessling.
That's
John Wessling.
I'm saying. That
I already added that to the screen.
If you have the means to buy a house, it's a
good
buyer's
time.
market.
It is a buyer's market.
It's a buyer's market. It's a good time to buy a house.
Bro, let me tell you.
It's just like getting a bunch of, if you have the means to buy stock on prices of airlines and stuff like that, it's a good time.
It's a good time to buy stock. Yeah, it's a good time to buy oil. Get you some Halliburton stock. You are getting in at the ground floor. That's hilarious. But I was a real estate agent for a year and a half. I fucking hated it, dude. I hated it.
I don't like the instability of it.
Well, they feed you to death, and what I hated more than anything was not selling. Like, selling a house was great. It's easy. It's easier. But buyers, oh my God, like having to drive people around for hours. And I don't like this house. The paint color in this one room is purple, and I hate purple. Bitch, it's paint. Just paint the wall. Why do you care about the color of the walls? That's not a big deal. Do you like the house?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do that. I don't have the patience to be a real estate agent. You do, though. You're going to be great at it.
We'll see. And I think I got a bunch of people asking.
The chat is blowing up for you, so catch up.
I got a bunch of people asking if it was, if I like the people over, not to take it too far back, but
sure, no, do your thing.
But they were asking. I think a couple people were asking if it was more you were mad at the situation than you were at the people, and that's completely correct. I was upset at the situation, and I have nothing but the utmost respect and love for everybody over there. So I regret nothing.
Let's talk about something that gives you a boner.
Lawn talk.
Did you like that? That was a professional transition. Let's talk about what gives Jong a boner. No, you put this in the rundown, which, by the way, did it feel good to be a producer again for half a day where you were just adding topics to a rundown for shit to talk about? I was like, I wonder what Jong would charge me to produce Barry on Deck. I wonder how...
I'll do it.
Oh, shit! What? You will? What are you going to charge me? Let's talk off air because, bro, I'm serious. You know how much... You know what goes into making a show. And you know if you came from radio and started a show, you want to do it like you did it. So I am literally drowning in work.
Well, it depends.
I was
on,
literally saying yesterday I need an assistant, what I really need is a producer. I need a producer for the show. Like, I'm trying to like do screen changes and chat and topics and videos and graphics and shit, dude, and still do the on-air stuff and try to be funny and entertaining.
Yeah, I saw you throw to a clip, and I was like, man, what a professional.
Bro, I hate this is so hard. It's like I hate having to learn these new skills. I just want to be funny. I just want to but I'm like, I really want this to work. So me and you are gonna talk. But I want to. This is my transition, okay? Not the boner thing, but are you still doing the podcast? And if so, how's it going?
It's going well. Me and Michael are doing a podcast twice a week, and it depends mostly on his schedule when we're taping. It's either Monday or Tuesday, and then Wednesday or Thursday. Usually we try to do Monday and Wednesday. It's called Comicast. You can get it on every single podcast platform that there is. We're thinking about starting a video and like a YouTube, doing more on YouTube. And we may shoot something on Monday or Tuesday. And thanks to Barry Laminack for giving me that video tutorial. I think I got.
You think that's gonna work for you?
I think so. I think I got OBS ready to go, and I'm gonna do it offline. So I'm gonna capture everything, and then I didn't want to buy any software, so OBS is perfect. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna use janky ass iMovie to edit the damn thing, because editing software is very, very expensive.
Very expensive. I do have. I'll text you. Remind me. But I found a guy that does like Twitch stuff. There's a cheap version of like Premiere and Final Cut. It's like $50, and it does almost everything they do. So message me. I'll send it to you. It's a great alternative if you don't want to pay the money or steal it.
Okay.
Don't steal it.
I'm not gonna steal it.
Don't steal it.
But yeah, me and him are going to start doing that soon too. But if you guys like pop culture, video games, and comic book stuff, definitely check it out.
Comicast, iTunes, all that. Google Play, all the Spotify, everything, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's an amazing podcast. It really is. If you're a computer game or a PS4 or Xbox, or if you're just into comics or all that, so you guys run the gamut of nerd shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty nerdy. Yes.
Very nerdy. Now, speaking of that, I want to talk about this PS5 engine because I'm rolling through and these are the topics I had like under non-sports. I had stuff like woman accused of throwing bottle of urine through a Taco Bell window. German cafe customers wear pool noodles on their head to enforce social distancing. New Jersey cops, there's an inordinate amount of poop left at state parks. And then along comes Jong, and we start getting like real shit, like the PS5 Unreal Engine looks amazing.
Did you watch it?
Bro, this is what I wanted to get to. I wish we would have got to this 30 minutes ago. Yes! Dude, I like take my money. I'm going to put something on the screen, so you and I are going to go away for a second. But this is just a screen cap of the video from what the PlayStation 5's graphics are going to look like. And this is unreal. Like this looks like a real shot of somebody walking through a cave, and this doesn't even do it justice. But they started talking about the technology behind how many trillions of billions of triangles make up a pixel. And they got way nerdier than I could even get with my IT background. What's the max you would pay for a PS5? Because I'm all in on this shit.
Now, a couple years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, I would have said I'm going to get this right when it launches. But
yeah.
I really don't. If I think about it, I really don't play much other than MLB The Show. I play that.
Me and you are gonna play online one day, young man.
Yeah, I also don't have the PlayStation Plus.
I'm gonna buy that though because I have the Discord and I want to start playing people in the not the Discord, the Patreon. I want to start playing people that are patrons. So I'm gonna get it. So you and we're playing.
Yeah, so I play that majority of the time. I played NBA 2K. I play a lot of sports games, and I don't know why. I really enjoy playing sports games. I started playing Uncharted a little bit last week because PlayStation was giving the 3 games for free, and so I started playing that. And other than that, I played Spider-Man PS4 last year. I played what's it called? I played God of War. But other than that, I stick strictly to MLB The Show. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get it at launch because none of the games that I want to play are going to be out.
Bro.
And I think I would pay about $600 for a PlayStation 5, and I think that's going to be the price.
I would max out at $750. If I'll pay $1,000 for a fucking Android phone, you don't think I'm not going to pay $750 for a PS5? Yes. I will let a homeless man do dirty things to my mouth for a PS5, bro. I'm all in on this. I'm paying $750 max. Well, I mean, I'm okay. If they let me do a payment plan, I'll go $1,000. But that's it. That's my final offer. I got this Barry on deck money, bro. I'm just, I'm like, please be $400 and let me make payments, please.
Jorge said you're unemployed. You can't be spending money on a PS5.
Yeah, no shit, Jorge. That's why I gotta let homeless people do dirty things to my mouth so that I can afford a PS5. Okay, I get it. But no, I'm with you. Like somebody in the chat said 550, 500, 5 to 600. Demetrius said 5 to 600. I'm literally, my ceiling would be 750 for this gaming console because you know it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be around for a while. They're gonna make great games. It's gonna look amazing. I had my PS4 for years. They're not gonna. It's not like phones where you pay $1,000 and then they have a new one next year. I think it's worth every penny of $750 max.
Yeah, and I think once more and more games come out, I think that's when MLB The Show 21 comes out. That's probably when I pull the trigger on a PS5. Yeah.
Okay. Because the hardware, they won't have new hardware for a couple years. An upgrade or something like that. But do you think that Xbox is going to be able to keep up with PlayStation? I feel like PlayStation is just outpacing them in every way.
It is supposed to be more powerful than the PlayStation 5. PlayStation's supposed to be faster because I think they're going to be using. I think both systems are going to be using SSDs, but the load time for PlayStations I think are going to be faster. Mm-hmm. The Xbox is supposed to be more powerful. And they made a huge mistake with the Xbox One because they came out and said, this is going to be, the future is an entertainment console. And they took their eyes off of gaming and their exclusives just went to shit. And so basically PlayStation had all these amazing exclusives and blew them out of the water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing is PlayStation has been able to have the better games that you can only get on PlayStation, which is how you're going to win the console war. Both of you having, NBA 2K or something, no one's going to give. But if you have MLB The Show or you have Halo, that's how you're going to differentiate yourself from the competition. And by having those better games, you're going to get people that stay on your platform or migrate to your platform if the game becomes popular. So anyone can run Fortnite. But it's those individual games that you develop in-house. And let's be real, man. I was an Xbox guy. And I liked the Xbox. But I just think PlayStation does it better. Because Microsoft, from an old IT nerd, Microsoft always finds a way to mess it up. They always find a way to do something where you're like, what? You feel like kind of your dad built this or something. So I'm with you, man. I'm PlayStation all the way. You can tell me that the Xbox is going to be more powerful. At the end of the day, Microsoft will mess that up.
Two quick things before we go because we're up against it.
Thank you, Producer Jong. Because we are. I've never gone over, and it's 4:00, and I am like trying to limit it. I'm trying to be like radio. So go ahead. Thank you.
The one thing is, I think with the gaming consoles, I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
Did I?
I forgot what I was gonna say about the. I think I was gonna reply back to somebody on the chat, but I forget.
Well,
but with the gaming consoles, I think that you're not gonna go wrong either way. Just take a look at the party exclusives. MLB The Show is gonna be coming to Xbox in the future, and I think it's gonna be next year. If you're more, and I think the thing that's my tipping point is Sony owns Spider-Man, so Sony Spider-Man PS5 is only going to be on PlayStation. So that's, I think, my selling point. I'm going to go and stick with PlayStation. Oh, the one thing I was going to say is I was an Xbox person too, And the reason why I switched was I got the Ring of Death twice on the Xbox.
Oh, yep. It's like the blue screen. It's like, that's why I switched to a Mac. I can't trust Microsoft products. I'm 1,000% on that.
Yeah, so
I
went over to PlayStation and I haven't looked back, and I think it was PlayStation 3, and I haven't looked back. And the other thing I was going to say is to fund your PlayStation money for your Patreons,
do I have to be
you should
whore?
let them. You should give them the option to,
I fucking hate you. Why did I let you do that? Why on earth? By the way, before we go, and we are going to get out of here, we're 2 minutes over time, but I do want to reference one question in the chat from B-Dog. Hey, how about Josh Innish now taking over from 2 to 4? Are you fucking serious, B-Dog? Are you serious? Go back and watch the show. Jong, listen, buddy, I thank you so much for joining me today. The timing was amazing. It could not have worked out better for Barry on Deck as a show from a marketing perspective than to have this happen last night. Knowing you were already, I asked you several days ago to do this today. And so this wasn't planned. You were already on the schedule. But I want you to come back when we don't have controversy so you and I can hang out for an hour and shoot the shit and not talk about getting fired. Will you do that for me? Will you come back?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, you got my number, just let me know.
We're doing this again.
Huh?
I said we're doing this again.
Yeah. Just let me know. Man, I'm losing my mind. I was gonna say something, but I forget.
You're drunk. You lied. You're drunk as shit. Jong Lee, thank you, buddy, so much. That's the master. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, that is Barry on Deck. That is week 1 in the books. It's been a crazy week. It's been an amazing week. I am thrilled that you guys were here. Do me a favor. Please do me one favor before I let you go. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. Turn on notifications so you know when I go live. It's also going to tell you when I create videos because I'm still making funny videos and putting them on my YouTube here. Also, tell a friend. If you're enjoying this, if you're having fun and you know somebody that might like it, just tell them for me. I'll appreciate that, and we'll grow this thing together. Guys, I love you so much, Deckheads. You guys have made this all possible. Thank you so much. Thank you to AR Platinum. Thank you to everybody that subscribed on Patreon. Thank you to Jong Lee for joining me. And I appreciate you guys. Monday, we're back, 2 o'clock. Don't forget, we're right here. Barry is funny. You know how it goes. You know how we're ending it, guys. Y'all have a great weekend. Hey, what? Slow down. Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Love you guys.